Hey there YouTube, this is Sign19 coming with you with a talk video today. So this will be my first talk video that I believe I've done. So recently I was asked by a Miss Alex, scheduler. I cannot pronounce your last name, I'm very sorry, Alex. But you asked me, one second, you asked me for, since you're a new player, how do you find the difference of play styles in Vanguard since you're new? So I told you that when I get a chance I would do a video on it, and here's the video. So the different play styles in Vanguard are not that few in part, but can be very different. So you do have aggro, tempo, defensive, control, and combo. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of a rundown on what each style of play looks like, and maybe you can find which style suits you best. So we're gonna look at aggro. I don't have that many aggro decks per se myself. Seeing how I do everything live and without any editing as of yet. So the only aggro deck that I have that I can show you, and some people might say otherwise, would be, for me, would be my Battle Sister deck for premium. So for those who don't know, she's asking because she wants to try to get into premium. Aggro for premium for me is Battle Sisters. The deck isn't that combo heavy at all. You basically just play the cards that you have. You hit really high numbers and just bash face. That's really what the deck does. There's a little bit of technicality that goes with the deck, but most of the cards in the deck are just here to help you bash face with high numbers. 23. This becomes a 14. These become 13, 19, 18, and so on and so forth. The object of this deck is to get a decent board and make numbers and bash face. That's basically what an aggro deck does. It's just here to be aggressive. Certain text in to make it more technical for you, but like I said, if that's what you want, if you just want to bash face every turn, aggro decks are where you want to go. Our next style of play, I'm going to push this over here, that I have that you might be interested is in a combo deck. For a combo deck, for me, will be something like Grand Blue. In my premium choice, I'm using Ghosties, but Grand Blue for me is my combo deck. It's one of my combo decks. There's a lot of setup to go into the deck before you get to your kill turn. You need to get your pieces together. You need to make sure you have everything that you need before you go into your big I'm going to end the game phase. But the difference between a combo deck and a tempo deck, in my opinion, is that a tempo deck takes a lot longer to get there than a combo deck. There's not that many bells and whistles within a well-defined combo deck that you need to get in your hand to do everything for you, unlike a tempo deck where you're spending most of the game trying to get all your pieces in the right places. For example, in this combo deck, there's a combo between the main Vanguard Beatrice and Night Storm and Skull Dragon. There's a mini loop inside of Grand Blue with these three cards. So the idea, and I'm going to go into a video, I have a deck profile coming up for Grand Blue in today actually, so I'll be doing a double upload for you guys. So you'll see this combo in that deck profile. But this is what I mean by a combo deck. You need one card to combo into another, to combo into another, and then go right back into it and combo back and forth. That's what, technically speaking, a combo deck does. It allows certain bells and whistles, certain gears to grind with each other to perform a needed task. Look at me, talking about task. But yeah, that's what a combo deck is. Very straightforward. Very fun to play, but very thought-provoking. You need to be able to think. There's not really like a aggro deck where it's kind of helmet. The deck plays this stuff. You just need to put your cards down and then perform like you normally do in a game, and then everything does it automatically. But in a combo deck, you need to think, when do I do this? Can I do this? How do I get there? It's a thought process deck. Okay, so we went over aggro, you went over combo. Now I'm going to go over tempo. So a tempo deck wants to kind of stall the game out to where they can get to their win con, get to their I'm going to end the game button type of sense. So for me, when it comes to tempo, my Aquaforce Maelstrom deck is my tempo deck. So the idea of this is that this deck is surrounded by one concept and one concept alone. You need to get to Engulf's win con. This is the stride for one of the strides for Maelstrom that will help you end the game. So the idea of Engulf is that for every copy of Maelstrom that you have in your soul, your opponent is not allowed to guard with one grade less than the number of Maelstroms in your soul. So if there's 1, they can't guard with 0s. 2, no 1s, and so on and so forth. Even all the way up to grade 4. If you have 5 Maelstroms in your soul, your opponent can't even G-guard. Your opponent can't even G-guard. So keep that in mind. The way this deck works, you use, similar to a combo deck, you use certain cards to help you get the cards into your hand and into your soul. So the idea of this deck is that every card has a specific job. Their job is to get the card into your soul. Their job is to get the card into your hand. And that's really it. Every card has a job. And the idea for you is to slow the game down as much as possible to let them do their job of getting Maelstrom into the soul. That way Engulf can close out the game. Now, this is not going to be a 2-turn, 3-turn type thing. Sometimes with a tempo deck, the games can go all the way up to 10 turns, 11 turns, 12 turns before the game is even over. And especially if you're going against an aggro or a combo deck, it is your job to make sure that you can survive. So also we play a bunch of cards that allow us to draw, because having cards in your hand, it means you have guard in your hand. So that's another style of play in Premium. And I would say the last style would be Control. Usually Control decks really they like to slow the game way more down than tempo decks do. Unfortunately, I don't own a Control deck. Most Control decks consist of things like Link Joker, some Kagero decks, any deck. Let's see. Mega Colony is a good example of a control deck. Any deck that controls your opponent's board to slow them down will be considered control. Things that lock, things that stun, things that blow your opponent's board up, like Norakami, stuff like that. Anything that prohibits your opponent from playing the game would be considered control. So if you like having your opponent not be able to do anything, maybe a control deck is more your style. But this video is going to be very short because there's really not much I can go to. If you want a more in-depth analysis of how to play these better, look up Solemn Vanguard. I'll put it down in the description down below. He does a phenomenal job explaining this way better than I do with more visuals. But if you liked what you saw, if I answered your question, Alex, please leave a comment down below. I'll hit you up and let you know that the video is up. But if you want to try any of these decks out, they're very inexpensive to build, very cheap, very fun. So you have your aggro, your combo, your tempo. And like I said, if you want to try control, Link Joker and Melancholy will be a very good starting spot for you. So as always, if you guys like what you saw, leave a comment down below, hit the like button, hit that bell button so you always be notified when I upload a new video. And as always, I'll see you guys later.